Okay, so we are on the management information systems, and we have already covered two learning outcomes. One is understanding management information systems in organizations, and be able to evaluate a management information system in organizations. You remember that we have already done two of the learning outcomes in previous classes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So today is be able to plan and improvements to a management information system. So previously we tried to understand what is management information system and how it is used in the organizations, its advantages and its applications, and then we tried to evaluate, analyze the effectiveness of the management information systems, and then we have to, in this learning outcome, we want to give some improvements and some extensions into the information systems, so that we will be discussing. So like learning outcome assessment criteria 1 is that present recommendations to improve a management information system, plan further system development to an information system. So like the indicative contains MIS improvements, MIS extensions. So we'll be discussing the studying people, studying technology, studying organizations, process identification, process selection, assessment of current processes, process plan, process changes. So let us start with be able to improve, to plan improvements to a management information system. Okay, improvements. Recommendations to improve management information system. There are few things more frustrating at the work when you have an issue with the information system. So obviously, why you want the improvement? Because so that you should not have any interruption in the information system. It shouldn't make you frustrated while you are using the information system regarding any of the issue. If you have any issue, like you go to some certain banks or any of the offices, when they say, oh, the system is down, system is very slow, we are taking some time. So basically that is a problem of the performance, and that needs to be improved. Yeah. So whether it will be an individual workstation, a database, or the internet speed, most of the business world depends on its information systems operating at peak levels. So no matter if it is a one computer, it is a complete database, it is affected by the internet speed. So all of the business world basically is depending on the information system, and obviously at peak levels, at all from in every aspect, the information system is the key thing on which everybody depends, every business depends. Yeah. So some business have a luxury of employing an information technology staff to help with these problems, and many small businesses, however, don't have this luxury. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, for example, if it is a big organization, then they will have an IT department. They will have the expert IT staff. But if it is a, let's say, doctor surgery, yeah, if their computer breaks up, then they won't be able to fix it straight away, isn't it?
Yeah. They will fetch a technician or something.
So that's a main concern, that IT staff, the dedicated staff, is important to employ, but obviously it really depends at how big the organization is. Improvements. Number one key point to improvement is develop a technology usage agreement for your staff. Whatever the technology you are providing to your staff, then you should have some agreed usage. You should have an agreement between the staff and you, that how they will be
Okay.
using the equipment, IT and everything. For example, include a compliance issue such as inappropriate web surfing, data or music downloading policy, and data confidentiality. So obviously you are, in office and you are, watching YouTube or, downloading anything inappropriate, or, the data you are downloading too much, then it will affect the organization's speed. It will affect the organization, computers, equipment, like prohibit visiting website categories known to house viruses such as torrent sites, gambling, and file sharing sites. Is it true?
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously they will damage the computer, they will invite the viruses, and any of the torrent sites are little bit risky, and gambling and these things, should be avoided. So all these things should be carried out according to the agreement made between your staff and you. So that can help to improve the performance of MIS. Basically, you are trying to reduce the any of expected, unexpected happenings, and which may, reduce the efficiency of MIS. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. Create a comprehensive technology plan. This plan should address systematic replacement of aging workstations and ways to evaluate emerging technologies. So you should have a plan so that you should be able to systematically replace the aging workstations. For example, whatever the computer you have, and by the passage of time, how long it will run, and what will be the feasibility of the system to be used for up to particular number of years. For example, if the computer has to be used for 3 years, then systematically you should be able to replace those workstations, computers, with time, and you should be able to introduce the new technologies by the time. Yeah. So it should come in your comprehensive technique and technology plan. Yeah, makes sense?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. It should provide a basic map of how your information system will run today and in the future, taking in account the rapidly changing nature of the industry. Yeah. So you should have a roadmap of your current information system, that how it is running today and how you want your information system to run in future, and which changes can be expected. Yeah.
Yeah, most of them.
Okay. Contact your internet service provider to investigate increasing your bandwidth. Yeah. So for example, at the moment, if even the speed is, let's say, 70 Mbps per second, the Virgin Media in UK offers 200 Mbps per second, isn't it? Yeah. Even
100.
Yeah, even I knew that they offer the 300 Mbps, as well.
Whoa.
But yeah, but if, for example, this internet is offered in, let's say, in a big mall for the customer Wi-Fi. Yeah, the customer Wi-Fi, for example, in one of the big shopping mall in the UK, the customers are connected and they want the video chatting to show their family, friends where they are. Then probably the 300 Mbps per second will not be sufficient enough, isn't it?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, because they will distribute the
Yeah.
3 Mbps
Yeah.
between many participants. So
Yeah. So really depends that what is the purpose behind providing that much internet. Probably, for example, if it is a big restaurant, yeah, and let's say 300 people are, having dinner or lunch or food, whatever, and they want to show their friends and family like a live, videos, and obviously the purpose behind, providing them the Wi-Fi is not only to facilitate them with the Wi-Fi, but people take them, like people say, checked into this, blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They say, oh, you have checked into this restaurant. They, they say we are live. So directly or indirectly, it markets the particular place that where people are going, and next people, they would intend to visit the same place as well, isn't it? Yeah. So contact your service provider to investigate increasing your bandwidth. Often increasing bandwidth makes multitasking much easier and reduces application hang-ups caused by slow updating. Consider ISP redundancy if you have repeated downtime from your primary carrier. So if there is any problem, if you have a repeated downtime, for example, if you say, oh, if you are in a mall and trying to, talk with your friends over the WhatsApp, yeah, then you have a problem, then it's not necessary that your device has a problem, but probably that is a redundant, that is a reoccurring ISP problem. Yeah, probably at that time the internet speed is down, or maybe the internet speed is not sufficient to cover that much bandwidth required.
Provider,
yeah. So in this point, it's trying to say that when you face any problem, then do not think that your devices are faulty or there is a problem, but immediately try to contact with your internet service provider, and they may be able to help and see that what's wrong. Yeah. It's a good idea that when you face a problem, then you say, we don't have for example, I have a signal problem, but probably there could be the overall problem from the ISP. Yeah. Okay. So 1 second. So number 4, consult with one of the many firms who provide off-site storage for your key documents and database. This service is typically easy to install and provides you with easy disaster recovery should you have a major system issue or virus. Yeah. So this is kind of disaster recovery, and what happens, whatever the data you have, it's not stored in the same place, the working place. It is basically stored at the remote server.
Remote server.
Yeah. And for example, not only remote, maybe within the city or country, probably it can be stored in different continent. It can be stored in different country as well. Yeah. For example, if there is a emergency, if there is a war, yeah, within the country, and important data can be totally damaged, yeah, due to any reason within the country. But if it is stored securely in any other server located into any other country, then that strategy will definitely protect them. Yeah? Protect their data. Okay? So makes sense? Is it clear? So the remote storage, off-site storage for key documents is advisable. Yeah? not only important data but the live data like daily records, yeah, and possibly it is good to store those records not only on a single location but at various locations as well. Yeah. So that will be done automatically, probably. Obviously, it will be encrypted. Whatever the data you are going to store, yeah, for the safety purpose, probably your servers are, at 10 locations, yeah, and at 10 locations you are sending the data and data is encrypted. The data could be lost from one computer, from two computers, from three computers, but at the same time, you cannot lose your data from all of the 10. Yeah. So, for example, you might have hardly heard, yeah, that your bank account, for example, data was lost. Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you haven't heard. Like, if I recall that I opened my bank account, for example, 10 years, 11 years ago, yeah, I can still see those, transactions, 11 years ago, whatever, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. And for example, like Facebook, if you will have a look on the Facebook, then Facebook would have, stored all of your posts, whatever you wrote, whatever comments were given to you.
Yeah, since
Even,
the start of your account.
yeah, started the start of the account, they must have stored those, comments, that particular data, not only at one location, yeah, but they must have stored, they must keep the data, yeah, even for your account, for example, yeah, whatever the account you have, I'm I'm sure that your Facebook data is not stored on one computer.
Yeah, I believe so as well.
It will definitely be stored on more than one computers, yeah, so that, because, and so far, nobody has complained that their data was crashed.
Yeah.
Their photographs were crashed because the Facebook computer got failed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even, for example, you are introducing your new Facebook website, let's say face copy or face text or face or photo book, for example. Yeah. Then if you are running your website on one computer, then at some time you will definitely think that if this computer crashes, then how you will be able to provide the data to your customers, yeah, users, and probably
you won't be able.
Yeah, and maybe, for example, if you are living in Europe and there is an internet connection problem, for example, between the Europe and USA, yeah, then you won't be able to see that, okay, that there is internet connection problem, and then you will have to store your copy of data maybe in Australia, maybe in Asia, yeah, so that if either of the continent is having problem of internet, then you could fetch that data from other continents as well. Yeah. So these are the kind of strategies in order to improve your organization's data available anywhere, so that due to any of the disaster, yeah, or calamity, you should be safe regarding the data. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Consider software as a service options for functions such as word processing, email, and customer relationship management. This service provides web-based versions of solutions you typically install on each workstation. The service makes data more available throughout your shop and at your home. So it says the functionalities that you require normally, like word processing, email, and customer relationship management programs, whatever, those softwares, you try to avoid the softwares which run on a particular workstation, yeah. But you try to use the software as a service, like a web-based software.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like email is a web-based, like let's say, have you heard about the worksheet?
Yeah.
Yeah. The worksheets are shared, on internet. You can open it anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there is one smart sheet. Have you heard about the smart sheet?
No.
The smart sheet is a kind of Excel database. Yeah. And that sheet is maintained, online. They give a subscription. Yeah. Account of subscription. They allow you to create the, let's say, for example, 100 sheets, and let's say 100 users can access them online, and they can update as well. So yeah, so any data that can be used, yeah, over the internet is basically the software as a service. Maybe, for example, if you are, opening a new firm, yeah, and instead of, you install the softwares on every computer that you provide, then it's better that you should hire a software on monthly subscription or annual subscription. They will provide you a complete management information system through a web address. Yeah? Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So internally, the management information system will be stored on a particular server, and that will be accessed by the internet, a web browser, and it will be a private network, a private website, and only the related staff will be able to access it. But its beautification is that you don't need a software or particular computer or workstation that needs an installation of the softwares. Yeah.
The selling point of that idea, though, is
that
they provide you with the security of the servers, or the actually that your data won't get lost.
Basically, no. Here is not the only the concern of the data loss. Yeah, the data loss was the another point we discussed earlier. Here is that you don't need to install the software on every computer, and you don't need to buy the software as well. Yeah, you need a software as a service. You basically hire a software.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But the reason behind that, why is more convenient?
Yeah. Yeah, it is convenient because it will
have to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. You don't have to deal with.
You don't have to deal with managing.
Yeah.
Your servers, or getting nervous about losing your data. It's an automated process which can be done from another source, like the certain software.
Yeah, like if we start with key benefits of having a software as a service is one, like it says, you don't need to install the software on every computer. That's number one. Yeah. Number two, you don't need to buy that software for that particular workstation. Yeah. In one time. Number three, your data will be centrally stored and safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you will be billed, you will be charged, monthly subscription or annual subscription that you can afford to pay from time to time. Yeah. And maybe another advantage, fourth or fifth, that you can, discontinue the subscription at any time, and you will not be in loss of, the investment into softwares. Yeah. So that's also the feature. And another feature, that it will be accessible, accessible anywhere and on any platform. Yeah. That platform, if you access it on the Windows, if you access it on the Linux, you can access on the normal computers, you can access on the Apple computers. Yeah. And so that's also the platform independence, as well as so these are the benefits, that getting the software as a service is much more advantageous on having purchasing or installing on one computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Utilize free software to free up your technology budget to upgrade machines faster. So many companies such as Google, Sun, Adobe add free services, entice customers to remain brand loyal. So you must have seen most of the Google, applications, whatever, like many things, and Google Play, like a Sun or Adobe Acrobat Reader, is most of the time is free. Yeah. So try to use the free softwares. It will give you an upgrade machines faster, and that's just the key, an idea, that go ahead with the free softwares and try them. Yeah. If the brands are free, loyalty free, then they always give the provide the best services. Yeah. Schedule periodic maintenance downtime. Your information technologies employee or company should manage updates, scan for viruses, and examine error logs during this scheduled downtime to prevent data loss or system outages. So if you have a scheduled maintenance downtime, for example, the system is down for maintenance, so it will help you to update any system. You can scan viruses during that particular downtime. You can examine the error logs, whatever the system generated the errors during the normal working hours, during this scheduled downtime, so that you can prevent from the data loss or system outages. Yeah. Now, it was the discussion about the improvements. How you can improve your system. Now we discuss about the extensions. How you can extend your management and information system. So plan further system development to an information system. Major challenges in MIS extensions are that quantity, content, and context of information is important. How much information and exactly what should it describe? So if you want to extend, that at what extent, what quantity and content you are dealing with the information, and then you should be able to extend the information system. If you know well that, for example, if your current system is capable to store the 100 records, and 100 record of the 100 customers, then you should be able to know that up to how many records more you want to extend the capability of the MIS. Nature of analysis and presentation, comprehensibility of information. Obviously, what nature of the data is, for example, if it is a text, if it is a video, if it is the images or whatever, the nature is important. Availability of information, frequency, contemporaneous, occurring at the same time, on demand or routine, periodic or occasional, one-time info, are repetitive in nature, and so on. So, how available, how the data is available, depending on the availability of the information, you are required to know the availability, that how that will be available, in what occasions it will be available. Then you should consider about the extensions. If you don't know the availability, then you cannot plan the extensions. Yeah.
Yeah.
How accurate is your information? How reliable is your information? How secure and authenticated systems are they? And then you should be able to consider these factors for your extension of the information system. Yeah.
Yeah.
MI's design and development process has to address the following issues successfully. There should be effective communication between the developers and users of the system. So, if you want to plan and design development process for extensions of the MIS, and you want this to be done successfully, if you want the extensions and improvements, design and development process to be successful, then you should make sure that the communication between the developers and users should be effective.
Okay.
If you want any good extension in the end, as well as development and design, then you should make sure that the communication between the developer and the user should be strong enough. They should be able to communicate well. Otherwise, you will not be successful in designing, planning, and developing the extensions. Okay. There should be a synchronization in understanding of the management processes and IT among the users as well as the developers. So the communication and synchronization in understanding, like whatever the change in the requirement or information or data is, it should be synchronized. They should be changing, at the same time. They should be updated. Whatever, if there is any change, then that should be communicated between both the developers and the users. Yeah.
Yeah.
Understanding of the information needs of managers from different functional areas and combining these needs into a single integrated system. So the managers should be able to understand the needs of the information. Yeah. At different functional areas and how these needs to be combined in a single integrated system. Yeah. So it's important that managers should be aware of what information is needed, from different sources, and how that can be integrated into the system. It is important to understand for them in order to produce the extensions and design and development successfully. Yeah. Creating a unified MIS covering the entire organization will lead to a more economical, faster, and more integrated system. However, it will increase in design complexity manifold, in several complexities. So it says that if you are creating a big whole complete MIS that should cover the organization, it will be obviously more economical, faster, and more integrated system. So any MIS that is capable to do anything, it will help overall any organization economically faster and integrated system. But obviously it will increase the design complexity. Is it true?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the design complexity should be considered at the focus, that it should be its complexity should be removed as much as possible, so that it should be a complete information system, more economical, faster, and more integrated. Yeah.
Yeah.
The MIS has to be interacting with the complex environment comprising all other subsystems in the overall information system of the organization. So it is extremely necessary to understand and define the requirements of MIS in the context of organization. Yeah. So the MIS has to be interacting with complex environment. So MIS itself, depending on the size of the information system, yeah, obviously it will be a little bit tricky, and integrating into the subsystems is not an easy. Therefore, it is important that you should understand every requirement, yeah, of the MIS. If you don't know, let's say, the context behind this point is, if the MIS is based on many subsystems, yeah, then in order to make it work very well, you understand every subsystem very well.
Yeah, because if
Yeah,
you miss anything, it won't interact with the
yeah.
said
So
application.
yeah. So in other words, the subsystem make up a complete system, and a complete system will only work when all subsystems are understandable in order to interact with each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
It should keep space. It should have a consistent speed with changes in environment, changing demands of the customers, and growing competition. So you should be going through with a particular speed for all the changes in the environment and demand. If you do not, follow up on time, yeah, if you are lagging behind, then the it will hinder you. It will make you problem. So it is advisable that you should keep updated according to time for any of the changes in the environment, any of the demands change, and any for the customers and growing competition. It should utilize fast developing in IT capabilities in the best possible ways. So how it is possible that every changing need should be catered, every changing need should be, monitored and handled. It's possible that you should use the IT capabilities very well. Cost and time of installing such advanced IT-based system is high, so there should not be a need of frequent or major modifications. Yeah. So it's true that it says that IT is not, cheaper, and it is also the replacement is, time consuming as well as, expensive. So you should not consider, changing the IT and the systems so frequently, and don't do any major modifications, that much early. Is that true? Obviously, if you bought the
plan, actually.
yeah, if you bought the 10 computers, today, and you cannot, change those computers, very soon in a month. Yeah. It should take care of not only the users, such as managers, but also the other stakeholders like employees, customers, and suppliers. So the managers or the users are not only the, important to consider, but stakeholders, customers, suppliers, they also need to be considered for the successful operations. If you ignore the needs of suppliers, customers, and other employees, the other stakeholders, yeah, and what they are, what they need, what are their concerns. If you ignore them, then you will not have a successful, extensions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before the system is in operation, the following issues should be taken care of: the data security, whether the data is secure, is the data is having the backup, is it recoverable or not, the system control, overall the system control, how it is controlled, testing of the system to ensure that it works bug-free in all expected business situations. The hardware and the software used should be able to deliver the expected processing. The system capacity and expected response time should be maintained. The system should be well documented, including a user guide for inexperienced users, a user reference or operations manual for advanced users, a system reference manual describing system structures and architectures. So before the system in operation, these issues should be considered as a must. Yeah. If you don't consider that how the data is secured, the system control, the testing, hardware use, the system capacity, documentation, these things, then without these things, you are not able to utilize the MIS very well. Is that true?
Yeah,
if you don't know about the data structure, testing, hardware use, the user guide, then obviously nobody will be able to utilize the MIS, isn't it?
yeah, of course.
So that's it.
Many times in games.
Yeah. So this is about the today's lecture. Do you have any other questions?
No, actually I don't.
Okay, that's fine. So we end this session today, and we will have another session, in this week,
Okay.
weekdays, yeah?
Yeah.
So I will update you, and we will, set up for the next class, yeah, via email.
Okay.
Okay? That's fine. Thank you very much, and bye.
Thank you. Have a
See you.
nice day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.